All right, in today's video we're going to take a look at BIDU again, and I'm going to talk about taking it from one decision to the next. If you look at a daily chart of BIDU, you can see that the overall pattern is still, lower lows and lower highs, right? We did see a little bit of a shift here, but I am going to show you something on the daily chart that you can look at. And then if you look at the 30-minute chart, well, the 30-minute chart is definitely a bullish pattern of higher highs and higher lows. So are you supposed to sell it against the daily resistance, or are you supposed to buy it against the intraday support? Okay, and that really depends on what time frame you're trading. But I am going to give you parameters on both sides in this case. Last time I set up a pullback here, we did have one swing up into target number 1, the 1272 extension of that swing. So that came in at 176.64. But let's go back and see what we have when you actually put lines on the charts. So here is the daily chart of BIDU. Okay, and we do have earnings coming up soon, so be aware of that. But what I have on the daily chart is that with this last pullback and rally, we got back into a resistance decision on the flip side within the larger downtrend. Okay, and I had time resistance to this rally with the histogram. Comes in Feb 5th, Feb 6th, and we made the high on Feb 5th so far. So you have time and price at that last high. So you can absolutely look at a short against this time and price resistance if it triggers an entry for you. And for some people, I mean, let's see, we would have, I guess it depends on what time frame you look at, but we would have had some sell triggers in this. Actually, let's look at a 5-minute, not a 1-minute. Okay, so have we seen sell signals? Yeah, you've definitely seen, we've taken out a prior swing low, we've had the moving average crossover to the downside. So at least there have been some short-term sell triggers against that resistance. Actually, there's also a 15-minute short trigger. Okay, so here's the 15-minute chart in BIDU. You took out a prior swing low, you also had the moving average crossover. So if anybody is looking at this side of the trade, what's your risk? Well, you had the trigger. You can risk just above this high if you want, or above the high end of the zone. Depends on how you've written up your trading plan. Okay, but we also have to look at the other side if we're going to do this completely. So yes, time and price, and there has been a trigger. You can be short. You can have a stop above the recent high. You can have a stop above, the high end of this zone. Those are your choices there. But check this out. So here's the 30-minute chart. And on the 30-minute chart, we are taking these prior declines within the uptrend on this time frame. And this is what you have to know. If you took a short, you need it to break these support decisions and then eventually this prior swing low for it to really start to move in your favor. And if it doesn't, you want to be prepared to GTFO, okay, if you can't break that area. Now, some of you might say, well, you know what, I prefer to trade short term and I'm going to use this 30-minute chart, and this is a bullish chart. So if you want to be a buyer, what do? Well, you wait and see if it tests one of these zones. If it tests and holds, go down to the lower time frame chart and look for a trigger. Okay, you don't want to do the trigger on the 30-minute chart. You want to do something like maybe a 2-minute chart, and then you can define your risk either underneath the low, underneath the zone, underneath this prior swing low, whatever you're comfortable with as far as the way that you've written up your trading plan. But beyond that, let's just take it from one decision to the next. We've had resistance, time and price, and you did see sell triggers, and now here come the next decisions, and the question is going to be, do we break below that support and continue with the decline, or are we just going to get this pullback and then get another swing up? You have parameters for both sides.